Nearly 1/3 of the teens said that they have talked about meeting somebody that they met on the internet. Well, this has happened, and it's happened in my jurisdiction. I actually have worked a case where I had a minor child on the internet chatting with a guy who was actually a soldier here on post, who came off post to meet this child for nefarious reasons, okay? And we were undercover. We had about 5 officers in undercover, and we took him down. And it was clear, based on the possessions that he had on him, that his intents were to do what he was going to do. To our disappointment, that particular case was dismissed by the prosecutor because of a loophole in the law, but fortunately, because of our connections with CID and some of the other investigators we formed relationships with, they actually took the case federal and took care of business. So he's pounding big rocks into little rocks right now, and we're happy for that. But anyways, this does happen. And children will try to talk to people. They'll receive gifts. Hopefully none of you have received things in the mail. They'll send them gift cards at Walmart, because they'll get online. Oh, my mom and dad, they just don't understand me. All I want to do is just talk to my friends. Oh, I understand. I'm sorry about that. Well, all I wanted was that that coat from Walmart. We were looking at it. How much was it? Oh, it was only 25 bucks. I'm going to send you a gift card so you can get that, because I understand. I know how you feel. And next thing you know, a gift card shows up in the mail, okay? Our evidence room and our task forces are stuffed full with that stuff. And you know what we do with those gift cards? We use them to buy things to be able to trick those guys in to go into things we need them to do. So we use their own money against them. So it's funny how the circle of life goes with that. Parents in room, okay, code words, again, over the shoulder, parent in room, that kind of thing. Flipping of the screens, really, how many have kids that do that? You walk in, they'll flip the screen, and next thing you know, they're doing something really, ambiguous. It's nothing, like, what are you doing playing solitaire? You never play solitaire. Maybe they've stumbled on a website. It's almost like when a child, I have a 15-year-old at the time, stumbled onto a pornography website, and it's sort of like, it's like taking a steak out and sticking it on the floor in front of a dog and telling them no. Okay, they're going to look at it, and they can't not look away. They're going to be interested in that, okay? But once that happens, you can't unring that bell. So maybe they're embarrassed about that, they've stumbled on something. So the best thing is not to really bust them out a little bit and just kind of talk to them about, hey, we put some software on the computer, some monitoring software, and it sent me a couple of notices that you went to a couple of sites. Was that by accident, or are you just curious about that? You have to build a family unit because it becomes disconnected the more digital we get. How many of you remember seeing that commercial where they're all texting each other around the dinner table? Do you remember that commercial? It's the same thing. I can't tell you how many times I text my daughter, what are you doing? Did you just get home from school? Did you eat anything? We don't just talk to people anymore. We don't take our child and go, come here, have a seat. How was your day? Now we're just going, how was your day? FaceTime, hi, it's different, and the life is just so different anymore. So maybe they're just embarrassed to come to you because they don't know how to be around you. They don't know how you're going to react. Are you going to just fly off the deep end and lose it? So best thing is to kind of try to partner with your child, especially your teen, especially in the rebellious years. We were all there. I was there, okay? So next slide. Okay, yeah, the predators have a definite advantage over our children, and they have it in the way of knowledge, okay? I have a friend that had spoke about children and the internet and technology, and he said to me, Dave, you and I, we're technology immigrants. And by that I said, what do you mean? He said, well, by that I mean, when this technology came, we had to learn how to use it. As it was developed, we had to learn how to use it. And he said, your children are technology citizens. And that means that they're born into this technology, okay? They get it, they understand it. You hand my 8-year-old the remote to the Comcast television, and she's recording a TV show already. And I'm like, how did you do that? And as a matter of fact, I'm not insulated or exempt from it. My daughter sent me a text, and it had a certain kind of a smiley face with little character arrangements. And I said, how did you do that? So, she said, well, let me show you. She picked the phone up, she taught me how to do it. What did I just do? Okay, I invited her to teach me something, and it forms that bond, and it says, you can trust me, and if I don't know something, I'm gonna ask. And I'm gonna say, can you show Daddy how to do that? Well, sure, come on over, we're doing that. But these guys out here that are doing this stuff, and I say guys very loosely because there are women that do this too, that prey on children. But they have a lot of skills. They're very sophisticated, very technical. You know, without giving away all the tricks of the trade, we remember going into a home where we knew this particular individual had child pornography. We knew he did. We just couldn't find it anywhere. Where was it? We looked at all the CDs, we looked at everything, we couldn't find nothing in the house. And then we started digging a little bit further, and we found a cable, a long cable. And on that cable was a telephone plug on one end, and on the other end was a USB end, you know, the little receiving USB. We thought, what kind of device uses a telephone plug and a USB? Couldn't find a USB device to save our lives. So we started going around and plugging a regular analog phone into the outlets in the house. No dial tone. Oh, really? Took the plate off, and he had wired in a USB port on the other end of the phone jack. And he had a USB stick on the back end of that plug. When you plugged it in and plugged it into the computer, he had access to all of his child pornography. So, you know, they're really, really sophisticated, and they really get technical out there. So your children, I'm sorry to say, are just not that up on this stuff, and they're going to do some things that are going to really trick you. And they have a disadvantage of feeling invincible. Oh, I don't know how many times I've seen this, and dealing with police and runaways, okay? You know, cute little kid out there running away from home at 14, thinks she's got the world by the hair, and she's going to do what she wants to do and run away from home because mom and dad doesn't understand her. And, you know, oh, I'm tough, I'm gonna be all right out here on my own, and that's just not the case. And we've all seen the Elizabeth Smart case and a few others that are out there. You know, just to use one as an example, nobody wants to have our child in that situation. Well, is running away any less different than running away on the internet? I don't think so. I think it's just as serious of a danger. And I usually do a demo right now, and I'm going to do this with John. And I brought with me just a standard cellular telephone, an iPhone. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to show John here how I can pretend to be somebody that I'm not. So John, come on up here for a sec. So I have here John's cell phone number, and I have his wife's cell phone number. And I'm going to pretend to call him using his wife's number.
This is kind of scary, Dave.
I know, I love doing it too, it's great. All right, cancel. I gotta put your number in too.
Are you gonna sound like my wife?
I can, it actually has a voice synthesizer, and I can do that. And I'm gonna explain why this is so dangerous in a minute. Okay, there's your number. Now I'm gonna put in the other one. And I'm done, and I'm now going to make the call. And it'll take just a second to go through. Now, why is this so dangerous? This is so dangerous because what if I have your child's cell phone number, I just happen to get it, and I know your phone number, and I say, Sally, hey, this is Dave. I talked to your mom, and she said for me to pick you up outside of school, okay? I've got your mom's phone because she was in an accident, and I've got her phone, and I'm calling you to tell you I'm going to meet you. Well, how would she think? How could I not believe that? It's coming from mom's phone. Well, I got your kids now. I got one of your children, and it's that fast. So you should be hearing a call here any second.
If I gave you the right numbers.
I hope so. Here it comes. And can you tell me what number it came up?
Yeah, it's my wife's.
How you
honey,
doing?
How are you?
Hey, I'm doing great, honey. How are you?
Oh.
Bring milk home,
Must not
okay?
be my honey.
You need some milk. See you later. Okay, so that came in actually as your wife, yes?
Yeah.
Caller ID was
Joe
authentic?
Yeah,
Okay,
sure did.
all right, so
Just didn't sound like her.
just didn't sound like it. Yeah. So that's pretty dangerous. You know,
Oh,
I'm not going to teach you guys how to do that.
My kids aren't going to believe me when I tell them.
you need to know.
Tell them to watch it on TV. I think they're taping. Actually, the software to do that is public domain.
Oh, it's a software.
It's on the you can get it on the iPhone.
So it's like a download, it's an app.
Yeah. But it's only done through an app that's on a jailbroken iPhone because it's not something that Apple puts out in their software product line for obvious reasons. So you have to kind of go to the underworld to get that application.
Wow.
But you know, and I use that as an example because it's a matter of time before this kind of thing happens. So here's what I submit, ladies and gentlemen. I submit that you instruct your children that if ever somebody other than mom or dad calls you from either one of our telephones, or from any phone for that matter, asking you to meet, you have a code word. All right, if you're in an accident and you say, hey, I need you to call my kid, and the code word is raspberry. Yeah, boom. You can change that code anytime you want. Okay, but now you know that your child's not going to be lured away without having some kind of a code word. Okay, because technology, and I just as easily as I did that with a phone call, I could do it with an email. I can make my email pretend to be whoever I want to be. Doesn't matter. Okay.